WEFM is SVG.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Alrighty, so the time here in SVG, it is 8:45, and we are back with you for another commentary segment on today's Activated Mornings program. If you are just joining us, welcome. All right, welcome. We will be here with you until 10. All right, so we are going to head into another story at this time. All right, and yeah, Trump.
Trump be stirring the pot.
Trump. All right. We knew that this was going to happen once he became president of the U.S. That just about on a weekly basis, there is going to be something to discuss. All right. So,
in the latest of Trump.
In the latest news regarding, he just needs to have his own network, his own news network.
Probably
actually no, he has
that.
He has his Twitter page, which is like his news network. So yeah.
Well, probably for people that don't tweet, him and Elon could work on that. He's got the richest man in the world on his team. So
yeah. All right. So for those of you who may not be aware, Caribbean nations with CBI, well, at least a few of them anyhow, not all of them, on the U.S. draft travel ban list. All right. So reading this one from St. Vincent Times, but of course it's news that's everywhere now, right? So proposed U.S. travel policy identifies Dominica, St. Lucia, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis as 22 of the Caribbean countries are required to address security issues. You hear this? Security issues within 60 days. Non-compliance may result in the implementation of stricter visa regulations, travel limitations, or complete travel prohibitions, right? So the New York Times, Reuters, and other publications acquired a draft list of recommendations developed by diplomatic and security officials, which outlined 3 tiers of travel restrictions: a complete ban, severe visa restrictions, and probationary status. All right, so our 4 Caribbean countries listed have been placed on the, I think is the yellow banner. No, this thing won't let me read it. They have been placed on the yellow band. There are 3 tiers, which is red, orange, and yellow. So Dominica, St. Lucia, Antigua and Barbuda, and who did I forget? So Dominica, St. Lucia, Antigua and Barbuda, and St. Kitts and Nevis are in that yellow tier. All right. Now, of course, I think hearing this comes as a kind of surprise to many of us, right? Because we're hearing things of them needing to address security issues, right? So the list, so the government's concerns, which is the U.S. government's concerns, that resulted in these islands being placed on the list may involve perceived security threats associated with the citizenship by investment programs and the potential of these programs to create loopholes. Please listen to what I'm saying. Create loopholes for individuals from banned countries to gain entry into the U.S. on the CIP granted passports. All right, I think that's all right. All right, so this for me is quite interesting, right? Now, initially when I heard of persons or countries within the Caribbean being placed on a ban, I initially thought it was those prime ministers who spoke out on the Cuba issue. So I was there looking to say, oh gosh, Vincent made the list. Yes. I'm there looking. But interestingly, none of the Caribbean countries where the PMs have actually stated that they would renounce their visas or they would give up their visas. None of those countries made the list, right? If I remember correctly, none of those countries made the list. However, it is a few of those who are involved in the CBI program. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Morning. a lot of these things that Trump doing, they eventually have to be reversed. You know?
Well, he
You're
tried.
gonna cripple the airline industry.
Yeah.
People can't come to America.
But
You're gonna cripple the airline industry. People gonna get laid off.
But it's not just that too. What it is that I'm actually concerned with is persons who have valid visas who may be afraid of leaving the country. Because this morning I heard of a situation of, oh Lord, where is she from? She is from another country, but she has a valid visa. She's a doctor who specializes in kidney something or the other, kidney diseases. But she left the US to go to Lebanon to do something. And upon returning, I think she was deported or something to that effect. So what it is that I'm actually frightened with is that there are many persons who are going to be afraid to travel because they don't know if their visas are going to be revoked for whatever reason.
And that will cripple the industry. When he came to power in 2016, there were some issues when people with green card coming through JFK and other airports. They were stopped and questioned, but it go away after a while. So these things are not sustainable. You let people off and then they have to rehire them or whatever. These things that he's doing, they don't make no sense. This is madness.
Yeah, it is. And then even I realized that he sent back, I think, 200 Venezuelans who was sent to Ecuador, some story like that, and they're under something under is El Salvador, right? Under some law from I think from
1800 law,
something, right? Law. Something to that effect, right? And I just think this is
and
just
defy.
Hey.
Go ahead.
I was just saying that this is absolute madness, but he is pulling every possible string that he can find to do the agenda that he has set out to accomplish, you know? So it's just quite interesting to me to see what's happening at this time. But I am just concerned of persons being afraid to travel because if you are on a visa or to leave the country, you just don't know if you might be able to get let back in, which is scary.
He's just acting like America don't need no other country in the world. America is just by itself, and everybody need America, and America don't need no other countries in the world.
Yeah. Insular. He's acting in an insular way.
Madness, man. These things they have to. It has to the board. They have to drop out at some point. I'm imagine just like when we had 2020 George Floyd thing with thousands and thousands of people all over America demonstrating. I think the same thing gonna happen because why that happened in 2020? All these demonstrations. A lot of people wasn't working. A lot of people had time on their hands so they could go out and demonstrate. In the way of life, a lot of people don't have time to demonstrate. They have to go to work, whatever, take care of business, so they don't have the time to go out and demonstrate. But when you lay off all these people, they're going to have time to demonstrate. And I think there's massive demonstration all over against Trump.
You do have a point there. All right. Yeah, thanks, Queens. Bye. All right. So that is the position with that in particular. And of course, there have been several of the prime ministers of the different Caribbean countries that are on the list have been trying to find answers to why it is. So we see Gaston Brown saying that he is looking for a response to see why it is that this has happened, why they have been placed on this particular list. So it's to see what happens from there.
Imagine powerful men being bullied by another powerful man.
Well, you would say it's a more powerful man because you know what they always say that the US is the ruler of the world. There's a different term it's a different term that they use. Not ruler of the world, but a different term. It just gone straight out of my head at this time.
Was it leader of the free world? Was it? I can't remember.
Something to that effect.
I'm wrong, but to tell you the truth, I'm looking on at all of these things and I'm not upset. There are no feelings of anger within me. I'm just here looking on and I'm looking at the rich people. Look at the rich, powerful people at play. And though it may be upsetting to hear Trump say some of these things and do some of these things, it could be any powerful man at any time behaving like this. It's just that in this case, it's Trump. This is the power that we have given to men. When we say we want you here and we want you to be this, understand that at any moment they could do what they want because we have given them the power to do so. And I noticed that they said it was interesting to see that the countries on the list have CBI programs, except for Grenada, who's not on the list. So that is interesting because why is Grenada, if it has something to do with CBI, why Grenada not there? Maybe Grenada was giving them what they wanted. I don't know. But they mentioned that it could create a loophole. And honestly, I'm not upset with anybody who tries to use a loophole, because I feel like we would use loopholes if it was beneficial to us.
No, the loopholes is for rich persons to acquire citizenship of another country to do things, just to have this other additional citizenship.
Right. So from what I understand, right, let's say I have two passports. I have a Vinci and I have a Bajan passport.
Right.
And Vinci name and thing to get banned. I'm not showing you my Vinci passport. I am going to show you my Bajan. If I can put on a Bajan accent, Vinci is not no Vinci. You understand me? To be honest, I can't even be upset with them, because if it were me, I would definitely do that. If you block me here, I am going to find a way to walk around it. And we try to use loopholes in our lives every day, to be honest.
But these are questionable folks. So what he's saying is questionable folks who, right.
But
then you made this point, we have given these rich and powerful men the power. Remember, at the end of the day, Dianna, somebody has to rule the country. A country has to have a leader. So what are we going to do?
According to the systems that we have set up, Dianna, Cain, I would like to have my own country, and I don't need anybody to lead me, because leaders do not necessarily make my life better, because leaders not come in and if I don't have a leader, there are certain things that you can do, or you will have the liberty to do that you cannot do, because somebody said, I am the leader and I'm going to start to dictate how things go from here. Listen to me. God gave me free everything, and say, listen, human, go live. Look at all these things, go and live. And then we come and say, let me grab it up and start to sell it to people. And let me put all sort of systems in place where we have you ruling over you. And now we have problems.
But Dianna, from the beginning of time, systems had to be put in place. Otherwise, it would have been a free-for-all. You would have been doing what you wanted to do. I would be doing what, and all of we're going to be saying that we have the right to. So number one, we need to have rules. We do need to have systems. I am not saying that we cannot question these rules and these systems, but we also have to have somebody running the country. It's just interesting who it is. It's just interesting in this case with Trump that he was nominated and he was elected. But this is the person who the majority of persons have chosen. So really and truly, what does that say about the electorate?
Correct. What does that say about him? Yeah.
All right. So we have...
Okay.
All right. Hi, Coach. Good morning.
Good morning. Are you glad that St. Vincent is not on that list, or are you happy that they... tell me.
I am too glad... I'm waiting. I don't want to be too excited yet.
I remember one morning I called and I talked about the and a woman come and chastise me and tell me, oh, it's good for the country. I don't think if we were in that CDI program, I'm sure we would have probably been making a list. And a lot of intention would have been having problems with the passport for travel right now. I am glad that we didn't went into that program.
Well,
we might not have the kind of money to do everything that we want, but I think the freedom of movement of people is more important sometimes than just a simple few dollars in your pocket. It's like selling your soul.
Okay.
You know?
All right. Well, I am still on the fence with it, but me and you are getting into that this morning.
You can't be on no fence with that still.
No, let me tell you why. I will tell you why. Give me. After you hang up the phone, I'm gonna tell you why. Hold on.
Yeah, but I can't see why you still on the fence. There's no fence. The fence break down.
No, the fence here break down. I am secure and I'm anchored on my fence.
No, your fence done gone. Trump hurricane, come on.
No. Trump hurricane hit me no way yet.
and let me tell you something. Everybody saying Trump. Back joining this thing, there's a man called Stephen Miller. That is the man who writing up all them things. Trump is only implementing them. But the background behind that thing is a man called Stephen Miller. Trump don't know nothing about the history there. Trump don't read it. Trump tell him point blank he don't read. So there's the people tell him he don't go a long way. So the man who people are going to be calling is a man called Stephen Miller. He's the bad John.
I gotta look him up because I don't think I've ever heard of him.
Look him up, Stephen Miller. He's the one who implemented child separation and all that kind of thing in the first term. Check him out. He's the bad John.
Okay. All right, Kojo.
A little skinny. All right.
All right. All right. So that was Kojo with his thoughts there, right? And this is why I said I'm on the fence. And this is why it is a Not Sam show. Because Trump announced, I can't remember the date, all right? But on February 25th, I think it was, Donald Trump will sell $5 million gold card visas to wealthy foreigners, right? And experts were saying that this is dangerous. So wealthy foreigners, including Russian oligarchs, will be able to pay $5 million to buy a Trump gold card for access to permanent residency and a path to U.S. citizenship, President Donald Trump says.
That's why he was making room.
For the others to go to the U.S. instead. All right. Hi, Anita. Good morning.
Good morning, President, please.
Morning.
No comment. I am just saying good morning. I said you guys greeting yesterday and you sent me back. So I am saying good morning. Okay?
Good morning, Anita.
All right. Okay, ladies. Take care.
To you as well. Thanks.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye.
All right. So, yes, to continue. So, while signing executive orders in the Oval Office on the 25th of February, Mr. Trump revealed that he wants to start selling the cards to reduce the nation's deficit by placing a foreign investors visa scheme that has been in effect since 1990. All right. He says we are going to be putting a price on that card of about $5 million, and that's going to give you a green card or give you green card privileges. Plus, it's going to be the route to citizenship. All right. So he's saying wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy and they'll be successful and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing people. So listen, he has potentially placed at least 4 Caribbean countries on this ban because of their CBI program. One of the reasons speculated is that it's because of the CBI program. Yet, Donald Trump declared his gold visas card program so as to get wealthy persons to be able to, quote unquote, invest in America. All right, to help to be able to reduce some of their national debt. Now tell me.
So you see, I could understand now why Trump has been just deporting people like crazy. Because, you know, they say if you want something, you have to make room for it to come. You know how they would tell you, if you expect to get new clothes, you can't be hoarding all the old clothes you have there. If you empty your closet, Roleza.
No, but in this case, but in this case, I mean, the wealthy persons are not going to be living in the same places and environments that many of the illegal persons are. So,
but he was just making room in the country for the people. I'm just trying to have a laugh at that, right? But yeah.
So at this point, Trump is very interesting, and we're going to leave it at that. All right, leave it right there. For my part, you're talking out of 2 sides of your mouth, but so it goes sometimes. All right, so. Time here in SVG, it is 9:03, and our time well, no, we don't do time checks, right? Not at this time. Time here is 9:03, and we are going to head into our ECCB currency exchange.